Well, it feels good to be back after a much needed break, and what better way to ease myself back into it than with some epic show and tell to share with you all. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm super excited to be sharing with you everything I have purchased and or been given in recent times. Now I have to be honest, I have been out of control with my spending, and by rights I should be put on a book buying ban, but you know, it is a good hobby to have, and I'm hopelessly addicted. What can I say? Now before I get into the book haul itself and show you everything, I just wanted to share with you why I took a 3-week break. I felt mentally fatigued and I had a lot of stuff going on. It's been a very busy time, and it's only today that I felt like easing myself back into it. It was a much needed break to recharge the old batteries and start creating the content again. And I've also been evaluating a few things as well, with a few channel changes coming up. For example, I have been doing my seasonal TBR videos and things like that, and after watching what MJ does over on her channel in terms of being a mood reader, I've decided to go down that same path, because I just want to be able to read what I'm in the mood for. And for quite a while now, reading plans haven't really been suitable to me, because as soon as I make plans, if I get distracted by a new release book or find a new author that I want to try, I get distracted and I go off tangent, and just all those plans just get out of control. So I thought, moving forward on the channel, I'm just going to read what I want. I'm not going to really plan anything. Every review I put up will be a surprise. Even I don't know what I'll be reading next, which gives a bit of excitement to the channel as well, because it's a bit of spontaneity there and doesn't feel so stinted and regimented. There will be a lot more freedom now. Unfortunately, with the reading projects that I did start, particularly the Agatha Christie Hercule Poirot reading project and the Jack Reacher project, are going to be on a hiatus. If I get in the mood to read another Reacher book, which hopefully won't be too far away, I'll be sure to badge that under the reading project. So it's going to be a long reading project, but I just feel the freedom involved in being a mood reader is very attractive, because I've lost count the amount of times plans haven't just followed in a linear fashion. I've just gone off the rail. So mood reading is certainly a good way to go for me, and a good step for the channel, I think. And there's a lot more exciting things coming up as well. I'm branching out even more. You know, in recent times how I started to read classics, and I will continue to do so, but I've added another genre into the mix that's going to be featured on the channel, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But yeah, I've been you know, in that 3-week break that I had, because I felt mentally fatigued, I haven't really read much. My reading had slowed right down, and it's only now just beginning to pick up again, because a lot of the time I wasn't in the mood to read and didn't find the time and things like that. And you know, I love reading. It's my favorite thing to do, and it's good to feel a little bit better in the old noggin and continue on. But yeah, it's good to be back, and I feel pretty refreshed, hence me making this video. And I always like doing book haul videos. I like watching them myself, and I just love seeing what people unwrap and share with their audiences. So without further ado, let's get into the book haul itself. And the first one I'm going to show you that I brought recently is a really good collection that I'm enjoying at the moment. It is from Joe Hill, and that is Full Throttle, which I've been wanting to read that for a little while. I was going to buy it when it was in the trade paperback, but the B format suits me just fine. I'm about a third of the way through it at the moment, and I just find Joe Hill's writing very accessible, and he's got talent in spades and tells a really good story, and I'm enjoying them so far. So I'll be reviewing this one on the channel and picking out my favourite stories and reviewing them. And I think a collection like this is just fun to read because it's low commitment. You can read one story and continue with what other book you're reading, whether you're reading a novel or whatever. Read a big chunk of that and you can always come back to this collection and just continue with the stories. But I'm really enjoying Joe Hill's writing, and it's certainly a collection I've wanted to get my hands on for quite some time, so I was happy to receive that in the post. Okay, the next book I got this second-hand copy of the Da Vinci Code. Has to be 23 years since I read it, along with the Masses when it came out in 2000, I think. Don't quote me on that. I think it was, let me just have a look, 2003, sorry. So it's been 20 years since I've read it. I want to revisit it and see remember what all the hype was about. I remember it being really, really good, and yeah, looking forward to reading it again. Whenever that will be, I don't know, because I'm not going to be planning my reading as such anymore. Alright, the next one I got was a young adult title, but it intrigued me because I think it's been made into a series for Netflix, and that is the One of Us series with One of Us is Lying. What attracted me to this was the characters giving a fair bit of resemblance to the kids from The Breakfast Club. And I'm a big fan of that movie, and the same stereotypes are featured in this book, where a student dies and it's just a big whodunit. And so it sounded really good, and you know, I don't read a lot of young adult stuff, but I will be in the future, and this one sort of grabbed me and had to pick it up. Alright, now the next two I'll show you are part of a series by a thriller series by Brad Thor. Now Brad Thor was an author I started reading in the noughties, and it's been a long time, and I recently rediscovered him, and when I first read him for the first time, he had a handful of books out, and now when I discovered him again, he's written about 30. So I'm a little bit behind. So what I did was I brought a beautiful 20th anniversary copy of The Lions of Lucerne, which is a really nice B format paperback. They haven't been available in this format before now. It was always the A format, which was a little bit difficult to read, and really happy with the font size and the format and the tactility of it. It's actually made from it's got a matte finish on here, which is very nice. And of course, at the same time, I bought the follow-up second book, Path of the Assassin, which is all about the protagonist, Scott Harveth, who is an ex-Secret Service agent and fighting terrorists and doing good in the world. So again, not sure when I'm going to be reading those, but they're certainly going to be in the near future. Now, I'll show you these next. Another young adult series which caught my interest, and I've never read Cornelia Funk before. I know of the movie with Brendan Fraser, haven't actually seen the movie, but I picked up the Inkheart trilogy by Cornelia Funk, and what attracted me about these ones, I saw them in an op shop. I think they were $5 each, and because I like a bargain, I negotiated down to $10 for the three of them, which was a pretty good deal. And they're contacted as well, so they're protected in plastic, and they're in really, really good condition, and they're nice additions. And the story interests me a lot, and I thought, you know what, they're cheap enough, I'm just going to buy these. So buy them I did, including Ink Spell and Ink Death, and they're nice and meaty as well, so something to certainly sink my teeth into at some stage. Alright, moving along, another young adult middle grade series I'm interested in is The Henderson's Boys by Robert Muchamore, and this is the first one, The Escape, which I don't know too much about it. It's about a couple of kids in the war who go undercover and help fight against Hitler. So looking forward to diving into that one. Now next I come across this one by pure happenstance by Shaun Clarke. It's an SAS novel called The Exit Club, which I don't know too much about, but this one spans decades, and you know, I've always wanted to learn a little bit more about the SAS, and should be quite a good read at some point. I got it from an op shop for about $2, so bargain central. Alright, now next in my spare time, besides reading, I love to play cue sports, in particular snooker and billiards. Now this next book is a biography from one of my favourite snooker players of all time, Hendry. He is a Scottish snooker player, a former snooker player. He's retired now, but he has a phenomenal record in the game. And you know, I first got into snooker because of him, watching him in the 90s, where he absolutely dominated everyone. He was so competitive, and he has a YouTube channel now where he invites guests on and has a chat and reminisces about the past in the snooker world and everything like that. So really looking forward to getting into that one soon. Can't wait. All right, next up I have the first book in the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas, Throne of Glass. This one is designed for young adults, female audience predominantly, but it just looked interesting and I thought I'll give that a go as well. Next, I picked up a copy, second-hand copy of Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. I recently saw the movie for about the third time, and I thought I haven't gotten around to reading the book yet. I really must do that, and I just went out and found a decent second-hand copy that I can't wait to read, whenever that will be. But yeah, it certainly looks very interesting. I know around the time it came out it was very, very popular, so looking forward to reading that. Alright, this one is by an author who I discovered by people on YouTube and Facebook talking about this author, Riley Sager, and this one is Home Before Dark, which intrigues me because it's about a family who moves back into their the dad's childhood house, and strange goings on occur. There's I think there was a haunting, and there's a story told within this book as well, which is very, very interesting, and the whole format intrigued me, so I had to pick it up. Alright, we're almost at the end, guys. Now at the end I've got a live unboxing as well, so that's going to be very exciting, so stick around for that. Okay, now in my last book haul I showed you a hard copy of The Way of Kings because next year I plan on diving really, really deep into the Cosmere. I would really like to start with the Mistborn trilogy, so I bought a really nice hardback copy of The Way of Kings in the last book haul, and because I like owning really nice books, I had to lash out and buy Words of Radiance in this really nice hardcover with beautiful end papers that you can see here, which is just absolutely phenomenal. Can't wait to get stuck in there. They are beautiful books. And more recently, we recently had Prime Day, where in the United States, Prime Day had very, very good bargains on Amazon, and I thought, well look, I have to get the other two. I have to get Oathbringer, book number 3, with these beautiful end papers. Just look at that, incredible. And I had to get, of course, Rhythm of War as well. Couldn't resist because the Prime Day deals on these were incredible. I pretty much got them for half price, and so I got Rhythm of War as well. These covers are just absolutely stunning, and look at that, absolutely incredible. Very, very nice to own. I'll be reading a lot from them when I do decide to read these, and just can't wait. But they look great on the shelf as well. Alright, now before the live unboxing, I've got a couple of books here to show you where I was approached by a couple of self-published authors. They sent me an email and requested me to read their books and review them on the channel. So I have been really tired. I haven't been doing, I've got a review video to record for this first one I got from Jethero Wegener, and that is 6 Bullets to a Man. He was kind enough to order me a copy on Amazon and send it directly to my address, which I was very, very grateful for, because when he told me about the book, it intrigued me. He said there's a bit of an influence by Lee Child in here. There are flavours of Jack Reacher in this book, about a Vietnam vet who fulfills a promise to his fallen comrade in Vietnam and comes back to deliver a letter to his friend's mother. But when he visits the small town, there's trouble brewing, and there's a big conspiracy underlying the already feuding towns, and there's a lot of racial tension in this one because it is set in Mississippi in the 1970s, so you can imagine the type of racial tensions in this book. I haven't done my review notes yet, but I plan on putting that up hopefully very soon. Okay, and the next one I got sent, this one's intriguing. It's a young adult fantasy by Joshua Hershey called Hidden Falls, which looks really interesting as well. So yeah, it's got dragons and everything in it. I haven't actually had a proper look at it yet, but as soon as I read it, I'm not quite sure when that's going to happen yet, but I will be reviewing it on the channel. And moving forward, I will be championing self-published authors on the channel as well, because if they approach me and ask me to read their book and review it on the channel, well, I'm going to do that. So that is another one I'm looking forward to as well. All right, now last comes the live unboxing. Okay, now a funny story, see this package here. Up until recently, Amazon have been delivering my books in a white padded bag, which is absolute shit, because I've had a few bent books, and it took a couple of conversations with a manager high up to change that, and I've actually asked for boxes for my books to be sent in, and they've done that a couple of times. But I was pleased to receive this today in packaging that's reminiscent of what Book Depository used to do, and I find this a very, very good protective packaging that they've done here. So I was pretty pleased with that, and it's been hard for me not to open this until tonight. So let's go ahead and open this up, and I'll show you what this is. If I can get it open, that is. Bear with me. Oh yes, this is going to be sensational. Alright, you got a glimpse of what it was, and I'm very, very happy with this. So the next genre I'm going to be focusing heavily on the channel moving forward is manga, and I've been researching what I'd like to read and what series I would like to start reading, and one that captivated me, which really impressed me after previewing a few pages, and that is Finland Saga, which is the first book in this series. I've heard a lot of great things about it. It's got a very heavy Viking theme, and really looking forward to diving in. There are other series I want to read, and I'm going to put out a separate video for those, so I'll be revealing those very, very soon. But manga is something I'm really, really interested in since picking up the Kurosagi Corpse Delivery Service for the first time, which is a great series. And after I got used to reading the medium from right to left, it was absolutely fine. It takes a bit of an adjustment, but manga is fascinating to me, and especially with really good art, which this one has in there. So I think what captivated me about this was the movement that is captured in the book. I mean, look at this. The cover art, the internal art is amazing, and I just cannot wait to get stuck into this. I'm actually going to probably start this tonight, because a lot of manga titles are very low commitment, because you can read them very, very quickly. You can read them in between what you're reading, and yeah, it's just so popular right now. It is a very hot topic on booktube, and a lot of people love it, and I'm fascinated by it. So I've been caught up in the storm, and there's a lot to talk about when I reveal my what I would like to read in the manga genre. So there you go, guys. That is everything. I hope you enjoyed the haul. I always like watching them, and yeah, what more can I say? It's good to be back, and looking forward to making more content. Now, the content may not come as thick and fast as it had been, but I'm easing myself back into it, but I plan on putting up more content soon, so watch out for that. So glad to be back. Thank you very much for watching. Apologies I was away for so long. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Offer up any feedback in the comments below, and I'll always respond to that. And until the next video, guys, I'll see you later.